we put what we expect to save in a measure. In this tutorial, we are going to add a measure to our primary gas meter. To add a new measure item to our primary gas meter, right-click on the primary gas meter item in the tree structure and select New Measure. Under the Measure Setup tab, we need to enter the name, description, and effective dates of our measure. The name of our measure is HVAC and boilers. Under description, enter HVAC controls and boiler upgrade. And for the effective dates, let's make September 1st, 1994 the start date, and December 31st, 2004 the end date, as we are tracking savings for 10 years. In this tutorial, we are going to keep it simple. Under the Specification Options field, directly enter factor history of periodic changes in utility usage. Now click on the Measure History tab to display the Measure History form. This is where we enter our predictions of savings. From the Time Periods list, select Monthly Periods. You can enter savings projections as a percentage or a number. The first column contains monthly percentage offsets for the quantity, which is therms in this case. For example, if we enter -5 for September, then we are telling metrics we would expect to save 5% from the baseline usage for September. The second column contains absolute monthly offsets for usage. For example, if -1,500 were entered for September, the September baseline scenario would be reduced by 1,500 therms to get the target scenario usage. For this example, we will use percent offsets only. Now I'm going to go ahead and enter the expected savings for the first year of our measure. It will be -5% for September, -10% for October, -10% for November, -20% for December, January, and February, -15% for March, and -10% for April and May. And there will be no offset in June, July, or August. This measure has the greatest impact in winter months and no impact in summer months. Rather than having to re-enter these values for each year, let's set the Replicate Rows field in the bottom left-hand corner of the Measure History tab to 12 rows to ensure that these values are consistently replicated on a yearly basis for the duration of the measure. The results of our measure can be viewed in the Scenario Inspection tab for our primary gas meter. To view our results, let's select the primary gas meter item from the tree structure, and then select the Scenario Inspection tab. Looking at the usage versus time graph, we see three lines. The green line represents the baseline, the black line represents the sim actual line, and the red line represents the target line, which was developed from our measure. Remember, the baseline is calculated from the regression equation which was developed during tuning. The line represents how many therms would have been used if the energy-saving modifications were not implemented in the building. The target line is our expected savings. The graph shows us that we are actually exceeding target savings for the majority of the year. Our actual usage is below the usage predicted by our measure. In this tutorial, we added a measure to our primary gas meter. Measures represent expected savings for a meter. Measures are monthly adjustments to the baseline scenario, which create the target scenario. The results of measures are viewed in the Scenario Inspection tab for the meter.